Welcome to RAFter Dark, spooky After Dark. This is Respawn Aim Fire's monthly Patreon exclusive-ish for a month. Only if you pay us $1 or more on Patreon do you get access to this before it's old and dated episode. And we normally are a video game podcast, but this is our edition of the podcast that we do once a month that's anything but video games. Spooky! Why is it spooky? Because dark is in the title. It's already after Halloween. It's November 3rd. I have a Christmas tree in my living room. It's not Halloween themed. It's just spooky because it's after dark. I made a bad choice. I'm eating cereal, dry cereal right now.
Ooh, what dry cereal was it?
I'm eating Special K fruit and yogurt something.
I used to eat Special K strawberry all the time back in the day. I don't really eat it. I've not eaten it in like many years.
Who's eating right now? It's me. It's Chad Michael. Spooky dookie dookie. And this. That other voice you just heard was Alexander Cozy. Scary Berry Cozino.
You almost tripped on the landing, but you kind of brought it back home in the end. I want to say, Chad. Chad. We all know that Atreus is a cute little dog, but Atreus is just he really is like a cute little pupper. Like now, like
so adorable.
He is just, he is, the camera is just magnetically fixated on his cuteness. He's such a cute little boy.
If you're watching the video version, Atreus right now I've been teaching classes all day and he has been like, you're home, but you're talking to the computer nonstop. And so he's like, I'm done with it. You're holding me. And he likes to jump up on my shoulder and sleep like a little baby there.
Aww.
Yeah. The other person we've got on the podcast this time is Adam. Spooky, scary, frightening, blightening, skitening, Gumbert.
Life is not all sunshines and glory holes.
Wouldn't that be great if it was, though?
Yeah,
that'd be a perfect world.
Why did Adam say that? You're gonna have to somehow break into our computers and find the 5 minutes of recording we did before we went live.
Not only is it a Patreon exclusive show, but I also told a joke before the Patreon exclusive show, so there's literally no level you can go to understand the joke I just told. Crazy.
This is our
Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones. It's Jerry Jones. Look him up.
Jerry Jones, not to be confused with Jerry Larry Gary Gergich from Parks and Recreation.
Not to be confused with Tom and Jerry, a mouse and a cat that hate each other very much.
Not to be confused with Ben and Jerry on ice cream.
Yeah.
This is our monthly Anything But Video Games episode, and you can tell right now that we don't normally have an agenda for what it is that we're going to talk about on it, except we do at least have a starting point this time, because Adam has listener comments about last month's RAFter Dark. Starring the unhinged Manly Brian and his Stalker Tale and Cozy Song. So, Adam, I would love, first of all, we got the Master Keaton write in about the episode, and then you also have something I was supposed to remind you about your dad, and I don't remember the rest of it.
So first up, again, last episode was Manly Brian came on, and according to Chad, apparently people are texting him worried about that individual because apparently he's insane and people are concerned, telling Chad that they're concerned about Manly Brian. Anyways, so on the last episode, it's not even a Brian thing, really. It was a Chad thing. Chad decided to get a background. For some reason, he downloaded a 3D file that was supposed to be a strip club. Okay, I forgot there was a joke before the podcast. That was why that was going to happen. Turns out when he downloaded it, it was actually a sex dungeon. It was not a strip club. There was no stripper poles to be found at all. But it was, in fact, a dungeon of that
potato.
Type. All the same thing, right? And in the background, there's a cross that is not stood up like Jesus, not the T, but it was more of an X. And I'm like, I know that is a thing. This is why this is a sex dungeon, because I know what that thing is. But none of us knew what it was called or anything like that. So Mass Keaton has written into me to explain what the X-style cross is in a BDSM sex dungeon.
X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is from Mass Keaton. Okay, so the X-style cross that people use in BDSM play is called St. Andrew's Cross. It gets its name because when St. Andrews was sentenced for crucifixion, he thought he wasn't worthy of being crucified on the same shape as Jesus Christ, so he has to be crucified on an X instead, which is just a fun history lesson. Like, if you put the cross sideways, that's a St. Andrew's cross. And I said, we went back and forth a little bit. Said I never would expect BDSM to adopted that, but I kind of love to see it. Maskeeton replied to that, I'm not sure of the history of its use. It may just be utility. The stance is pretty comfortable to be in for a long time, but also exposes a lot of the body for teasing, striking, etc. So, St. Andrew's Cross might be comfortable and exposes your body to little playtime.
But my question is, are you still attached to the cross in the same way? Or
nails through your hands? No.
Like, are you then leaning at a 45-degree angle? Or
no, I think it's just a thing for you to put your hands and your arms up against. Like, it's a thing to brace against. That's
okay.
It.
So it's like if there was an asterisk and you are the vertical line in the asterisk and the X is the other two lines.
Well, no, it's like you could I assume you could tie your hands up so that someone has, the ability to do anything to you, and then your legs are also tied. I don't think you're necessarily directly on the X of the cross, but the X of the cross is a framing for your arms and legs to be tied for BDSM pleasure.
Do they put nails through your wrists as well?
I do not think so. Not anymore. Okay. That might have been a thing back in Jerry Jones' day, but I don't think they do it currently.
Guys, I got a couple of comments. First comment, I think that we have to solve a centuries-old crime here. Because you talked about how St. Andrew, supposedly spearheaded this type of crucifixion because he's like, oh, I'm not worthy of being crucified in the same way as Jesus.
Poor choice of words. That's what killed Jesus.
Oh. Well, it's technically a spear in the side of his torso or whatever. Anyways. So I looked this up just to confirm this because I remembered this being a thing from my Bible studies from a million years ago, but I wasn't 100% certain of this. Peter, one of the disciples of Jesus, also requested that he be crucified in an unorthodox fashion. The Romans were like, you're a bad dude. We don't like your religions. We're going to crucify you as well. And he's like, I'm not worthy of being crucified in the same way as Jesus. And so he specifically requested that he be crucified upside down. Is St. Andrew a plagiarist? Did he look at St. Peter and go, yo, that guy had a real cool crucifixion thing going on. I got to copy it.
The thing is, I'm way out of school because let me tell you who hasn't been to Sunday school in a long time. Isn't the upside down cross a sign of Antichrist? Don't demon movies use the... So he wouldn't be copying. That's the bad thing. He made it better because no one... Upside down cross, evil. X is a cross, sex position. I think one is better than the other.
Okay, second comment. At the end of Logan, the X-Men movie in which Logan, a.k.a. James Howlett, a.k.a. Wolverine, is an old man and he's trudging around and he's like, oh, I'm an old man. And then he dies. At the very end of the movie, X-23 takes a bunch of branches that are made in the shape of a cross and then puts it in the shape of an X. Do we think that this X at the end of this X-Men movie is a reference to the St. Andrew cross?
Oh, bud, all of X-Men is a Christ allegory. Come on now. Get on it. Logan is clearly Jesus. Come on.
And is she implying by using St. Andrew's cross? No. Is she implying that Wolverine is also a plagiarist like St. Andrew?
No. See, no one thinks he's a plagiarist but you. Everyone respects St. Andrew. You're the only person besmirching his name. If you were in a Catholic town right now, they'd go off on you.
There's this through line in Logan, the movie that we're talking about, where he's reading these comics. And there's a throwaway line where it's implied that some other former X-Men wrote the comics. In fact, did Wolverine write the comics? But he is guilty of the fact that he plagiarized them from someone else. And so he's trying to play it off like someone else wrote them. But in fact, someone else did actually write them.
No, there's no plagiarism. The only plagiarism is you
plagiarizing yourself. I think we need to investigate this. I think we need to investigate this further.
I interpreted that scene in Logan as her saying, bitch, you ain't anywhere near as deserving as Jesus. You can't have the cross. You're going to have this sex dungeon fucking fixture on your grave for the rest of your life so everyone knows what a freak you were and how undeserving you were of Jesus's love. That's the subtext I read in her face. Now, she was a child actor, so maybe that wasn't the intent, and she just like wasn't good at portraying her actual feelings. But yeah, that's what I saw in it.
You know what's really stupid is that all of those X-Men movies have a point where someone makes an X out of stuff. Just because they're like the movies called X-Men. I remember the worst one being Apocalypse, because like someone's coming to attack it, and then someone throws a big beam down and another beam, and it makes a big X in front of Jean Grey, and it's like, well, y'all are really fucking ham-fisting this one in, huh? This is y'all. There's got to be a supercut of all the X's in X-Men. Has to be.
I checked out marvel.fandom.com to see if there are any individuals in the Marvel universe called Andrew, and there is a character called Andrew Maguire, the real name of a superhero called Alpha, who seems like he's a ally/enemy of Spider-Man. He debuted in 2012, so he's kind of a recent character.
I'm
Yeah,
still
and if
listening.
only Andrew
but I
wasn't
have
a
to-
common
I'll
name.
be right back.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't
Chad's
know what
stepping
it-
out.
I don't know what he's doing. Cozy, I like your ideas here. Write up your thesis and then bring it back to us later.
Oh, I will.
And we'll see if there's any merit to it. Now, I'm going to wait for Chad to get back, but I do have a story. I'll ask you this question real quick. Are you a Wikipedia freak? Is my question.
I mean, I use Wikipedia on like a pretty common basis. I wouldn't call myself a freak. I honestly probably, like, this is not even a joke. Not even a joke. I've probably visited Bulbapedia more often than I visited
counts.
Wikipedia within the past. Okay, well,
The
if that
idea
counts,
is,
then maybe
do you
yes.
go down holes like learning knowledge? Like you're no longer in school, but you're like, ooh, I want to learn about this thing. And then 30 minutes later, you're learning about another thing tangentially related to the other thing.
Yeah, but it's usually like, oh, I want to learn what Mothim's base stats are. You don't know about Mothim. Mothim is a bug flying Pokemon from Gen 4. He's a moth looking Pokemon. And
It's
then I look up
Mon Mothma?
Mothim's. No,
It's Mon
Mothim.
Mothma?
Mothim. It's like moth, but it's his moth. It's Mothim. And then I look that up, and then I'm like, oh, let's look up some other bug Pokemon. Let's look up what the strongest base stat bug move is, and then that leads to information
Whatever
about
it is,
the
it's not
bug
worth
themed
it.
gym trainer,
Bug
and then
Pokemon
you
suck.
get the idea. Chad,
Bugs
what?
suck.
Bug Pokemon suck, first of all. Second of all, it is a fucking crime. Like, it does not deserve the crucifix
Hold on a sec.
crime that Scyther is the coolest looking, shittiest Pokemon. Like,
Yeah, he does
this was
look
my
dope as
favorite
fuck.
as a kid.
He's, like,
but you get that
pretty
thing in your
strong.
party, and it's a piece of shit.
He's, I want to say this is, I'm pretty confident that Scyther is like the strongest, like he has the highest base stats of any unevolved Pokemon.
Mm,
That's how strong he is.
yeah,
He's
He
so
and
doesn't
then
strong.
evolve, right?
he doesn't even
He's
have
so
an evolution
strong.
in the first games. And then every other one's like, I'm gonna evolve, and instantly be like Charmeleon, little fucking teenage grump, is stronger than fucking Scyther.
When Scyther evolves into Caesar or Cleavor being the axe Pokemon introduced in Legends Arceus, he doesn't even gain like a base stat total. His stats get rearranged because he's already so powerful to begin with. That's actually true.
Like I rearranged the
Interesting.
guts of them bitches in that sex dungeon.
Chad,
Let
let me.
Chad. Real
Okay,
quick,
go for Chad.
do you go down Wikipedia holes as well? We were mentioning this before, and I'm going to lead into the thing that I wanted to tell you, but
Right. I do not, in my personal unprompted life, do Wikipedia rabbit holes. In fact, I visit Wikipedia. the
Bulbapedia
website.
counts. Bulbapedia counts.
I do not visit Bulbapedia. Here are my two things. I visit Wikipedia maybe once a month if I have to look up stats for a barf game and read information about a barf game on a barf episode. Or I honestly don't even know what website it brings me to. Maybe it's Bulbapedia, maybe it's something else. If I'm Googling insert name of Pokemon, best moveset Pokemon Go to find out, what moves I should be making them.
There's a lot of
learn from
fandom
TMs.
pages out there. That might be
Yeah, maybe it's
that counts
fandom,
as
maybe
well.
it's- But
Mhm.
no, I am not a Wikipedia-er in my day-to-day, just like
Okay.
curious knowledge.
So Cozy,
type thing.
if you have something to say, go for it, because I had all of this was leading to me telling a story.
No, I'm good. Go for it.
Okay, so me and Chad were talking about it before, because I did today look up some Wikipedia things while we were waiting for the podcast to start, because that's just the weirdo I am. But I have the Wikipedia app installed on my phone. That's how much I
That was
used
the
it.
number one signal to me is like, whoa, Adam is next level. I didn't even know they had an
They
app. Nor do I
have
know anyone
a
who has the
Wikipedia app.
downloaded.
Yep, I've got it installed on my phone, and I have 117 tabs open. I started doing the thing, so this will lead to a story about my dad growing up, right? My dad growing up, a lot of people back in that day, I don't think zero sugar was a thing. It was Diet Cokes or just regular Coke. But my dad was a huge, no, I think he was a Pepsi guy. He might have been Pepsi over Coke. He was a huge one of those brown water drinkers, right?
Well,
He drank so much of it.
I remember growing up as a kid that like we were a Pepsi family, and then Pepsi changed the formula, and then we became a Coke family, and then we flip flopped a little bit again in my teenage years. So like it could have been both.
I think it was Pepsi, but anyways, I remember one time we were at a restaurant, and my dad was, this was before he was on diets, before anyone, cared about sugar, whatever. He drank a ton of them. Like he had like 3 refills of his Cokes or Pepsis. And he was like, hey, he told the waitress, leave the cups. Don't take them, because they would just take the full cup and give you a new cup. He said, don't take the cups. I want you to leave them just to see what happens here. And
Just to see what happens.
By the end of the night, I'm not even joking, had 9 empty cups sitting on the table. Like this dude drank through like 10 Coke.
Is that why he wanted the
fucking
cups,
Pepsi.
just to keep count?
He just wanted to see how many he was going to drink.
I was gonna say you could bloodlet him, and you could have his blood as syrup on pancakes.
Bro, it was the late 90s, early 2000s. We did not know that. Like, his blood was thicker because of that. But all that to say is, like, that's me in Wikipedia. When it comes to, I open up a Wikipedia page, I'm not going to go over it and find something new. I'm going to open a new tab and then research the next thing so that the old one is there. So I have 117 tabs open on my Wikipedia app in my phone at the moment. Just because that's the kind of guy I am. Here's some fun Wikipedia that I looked up today. Because I was looking, the football game's on. There's a man named Joe Buck, right? He's a sportscaster, commentator guy, right? He's a
Is that a
nepo
stage
baby.
name or is that his real name?
No, his name is, actually, let me see. Is his name actually Joe Buck? His name is Joseph Buck.
So what a liar.
Sort of a thing. I'm only looking at the personal life section of his thing because that's the most interesting thing to me.
Whoa.
From 1993 to 2011, Buck was married to Ann Archibald. They have 2 kids. He then married NFL Network and ESPN reporter and former Bronco cheerleader Michelle Beisner. They have
Did he
twin
divorce
sons.
the first?
He divorced the
before-
first wife and then married the sportscaster / ex-cheerleader. Then it just says he's a fan of whatever. It's just love how you can go on anyone's random Wikipedia page, look in personal life. I never thought that I would look up and see that a man married to one woman married another woman who was a sportscaster and former Broncos cheerleader. And then there was a story in here about his vocal cords hurt one time when because he's like a baseball guy as well. And he said, they're like, yeah, but he's like, my voice is fucked up, but I'm going to still work. That was in 2011. And in 2016, Joe Buck revealed that the problem was not due to, he thought he initially had a virus in his vocal cord and it fucked him up. It was not due to a virus, but rather to a vocal cord paralysis likely caused by anesthesia used during multiple hair transplant procedures. So he got so many hair transplant procedures, the anesthesia fucked up his vocal cords for an entire year of his life.
Wow.
You won't find this on Google. You have to go to Wikipedia to find this shit. I'm just saying, guys.
At some point, you just got to wear a wig. You got to go to those like anime wig shops. Just get like the most vibrant, flashy one of all time. And if anyone says, "Hey, that's it looks like a wig," just be like, "Yeah, it's just your opinion, man."
Not if you're Joe Buck, man. He's a professional sportscaster. He's got to get the real shit. So,
but my favorite thing about Wikipedia is that all of the sources are cited, and I'm so curious. Where did that come from? Like, what's the article? What's the publication that's like, Joe Buck got so many hair surgeries
that he fucked his voice up. You're right. It is cited. 57.
Is it? Like,
okay,
is
so
it
no, it's from an
interview with
article.
him?
Joe Buck admits that frequent hair plug treatments cause vocal
Okay.
cord issues. It's from, it's literally from an interview that he did, and it's cited. Fucking wonderful.
Wow,
it's great. And again, all of that, we can get off of this, but I also did I looked up Flo from Progressive. Flo from Progressive, the character, has her own Wikipedia page, as well as the actress, Stephanie Courtney. They are separate Wikipedia pages, and there is Flo lore, and then there's the real woman lore, and it is it's very interesting. But anyways, I'm just saying, I love looking up shit. That's great.
You talking about flow from progressive led me to discover something I was hoping to find, and I'm happy to report that this is the case. Kevin Butler, the marketing character used by Sony circa 2009 to 2011, has his own Wikipedia page separate from his character, Jerry Lambert.
I think those are flipped. The character's Kevin Butler. His name is Jerry Lambert.
No, it's Jerry Lambert. Wait, what?
No, Jerry Lambert is the actor. Kevin Butler is the character.
Correct.
Yeah.
Did I get that reversed, or is Chad trying to confuse me?
Reversed. You reversed.
No,
I don't know, Chad.
Jerry Butler
you're trying to confuse me.
Jerry Butler is the actor. Kevin Butler is the character. It's so
they don't both have the same name, Butler.
No,
you said Jerry Butler.
I said Jerry Lambert and then Kevin Butler.
Lambert. Where does Adam Lambert filter into all this?
But again, isn't that annoying that there is a character who's owned by a corporation that's just a man? That's just a normal man's name. It's just a man, and they're like,
it's kind of the same
Kevin
as
Butler.
like, Batman has his own listing and George Clooney has his own listing. It's kind of the same thing. It's a character and the actor that played him.
But
George Clooney was the first actor that came to mind when I thought of Batman.
Guys, we got to talk about Kevin Butler. I'm reading through his Wikipedia page right now, and let me tell you, he has a surprisingly massive controversies page. That
I just heard about this the first time on Kind of Funny like a week ago. That apparently he did a competing commercial for a gaming company, and then he didn't realize that was like part of his non-compete. And
the competing commercial was he appeared in a Bridgestone Tires commercial that featured the Wii as part of a sales promotion. I expected that to be like to take up the bulk of the controversy section. It's literally only the last sentence. Let me read to you the first couple of sentences from the controversy section. In one of his first commercials, in response to a rumor monger questioning a then confirmed price drop for the PlayStation 3, he says, "You can't believe everything you read on the internet. Otherwise, I'd be a Nigerian millionaire by now." This prompted Nigeria's Minister of Information and Communication, Professor Dora Okunyili, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, to demand an apology from Sony, calling the commercial an unwarranted attack on the reputation and image of the country. In response, Sony promptly issued an apology to the Nigerian government and immediately removed the commercial from the air.
Wow.
I just love that Sony, the corporation, has to answer to a fictional character saying something in a commercial. Also, the fucking him playing a Wii thing, is the actor not allowed to? I mean, I guess if he signed a contract saying he wouldn't do other video game stuff, but they're like, Kevin Butler can't be in that commercial with the Wii. It's not Kevin Butler, it's Jerry fucking Lambert. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with these commercials. Is like the Verizon guy, whenever he started doing Sprint ads or T-Mobile or something, like everyone sees you as the Verizon guy. Like you have that instant recognition. Same with Flo. If Flo from Progressive, it's the blessing and the curse. The blessing that she has constant work for as long as she wants as this character for Progressive doing whatever the fuck she wants. But then if she's ever in another movie or a TV show or something like that, everyone's just gonna be like, oh, that's the Progressive lady. Like they're not gonna see her as anything other than Progressive lady. So yeah, when they see Kevin Butler in an ad, they're gonna be like, wait a minute.
But that's not the actor's fault. If I'm an actor, unless my contract says I'm not allowed to act ever again, I'm going to fucking take a job. Right?
Yeah.
By the way,
except for Flo doesn't have to. She's rich apparently from being fucking Flo. She's like
before we move on from Kevin Butler, I clicked into Jerry Lambert's Wikipedia page, and I appreciate that his page, the page for the actual real actor behind Kevin Butler, is only half as long as the Kevin Butler page and doesn't even have a profile picture.
Yeah, it's very funny.
But Kevin Butler does.
But Kevin
That's
Butler
because if you put the profile picture on Jerry Lambert, is that his name? If you put that on his page, people are like, "This isn't Jerry Lambert's page. This is Kevin Butler's page." There you go.
He had a recurring role on American Housewife. Good for you, kid. Good for you. It's sort of like, again, we're just talking about actors and unrelated shit, that Nolan North, famous video game actor, was like a regular on Gilmore Girls or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, Nolan North's old ass was just hanging out with those high school girls all the time or whatever. It's funny as shit. It's like, because his voice, I mean, it's just the Nathan Drake voice. And it's just like, why is Nathan Drake look like he's 23 years old hanging out with these Gilmore Girls or whatever show he was on? It's funny as fuck to see. Or maybe it was Pretty Little Liars. He's on one of those girl fucking, we're hanging out doing crimes shows. I don't remember which one it was.
My roommate in Chicago, Jesse,
Oh,
we
man.
used to we used to do these stupid things where we would just like mash up all these names of stuff. And Pretty Little Liars, we would mash up with the show Big Little Lies, and then we'd also match that up with Big Lebowski. And so anytime we talked about any of those shows, we had to refer to each one of them as Pretty Little Big Little Liars Lies Lebowski.
Pretty
True
Little
story.
Big Lies. But
Pretty
wait,
Little
hold
Big
on.
Little Liars Lies Lebowski.
Okay, that's good. I will never remember that. It's very good though. I'm trying to remember the name of the TV show he was on. I don't care about the soap opera. Also, every actor in worth their salt has been in a soap opera and or fucking Law and Order, but that's just something completely different. See, Nolan North's personal life. He's married and has 2 kids. Where's the thing about his vocal cords and his hair plugs? Nothing.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. What are
Yeah.
we doing here?
That's
Fucking
because no
around.
one knows what Nolan North looks like. They just know that he is. All right, he's Nathan Drake. He's the guy from Assassin's Creed. He's all of these characters.
He looks like Nathan Drake, but with less hair. It's actually true.
He's that guy from the Uncharted movie, but the cameo appearance, not the actual guy.
What was he in the? Oh yeah, he was the guy who was like sunbathing, and he greets what's his face on the beach. He's like, "Oh yeah, I was in a weird adventure."
It's
sometime."
tough being me, fucking Nathan Drake's voice or
Just
something.
the camera lingers on him for 30 minutes. What was weird about
30
that movie is I saw that movie on my plane trip to Barcelona, and there's like an extended sequence in that movie where they go to Barcelona. There's like what is it? They have like a fight in like a what was it? A Papa John's
And
or
a
something?
Papa John's, yep.
Yeah.
That classic pizza place from Barcelona.
They had like a fair few like international chains in Barcelona.
But that
They're
just
not-
tells you that they
not
shot it in
entirely
fucking
against them.
Atlanta. And they were like, there's Papa John's in Atlanta. Let's just shoot it here.
No, I think they did shoot it in Barcelona because I remember I looked it up in an interview at some point. Anyways,
Look it up on Wikipedia. Let's see. Did they shoot the Papa John's scene in Barcelona? Let's find out.
Barcelona.
No, the Uncharted movie's Papa John scene was not shot in Barcelona. It was reportedly filmed in
Oh,
Germany.
no.
Using actual
What?
restaurant equipment shipped from Spain to create a realistic setting.
That is so
Well, hold on, that's the
fucking- what a
Google AI
roundabout way.
overview.
Yeah.
Let's actually
I'm
go
sure it's
find
pulling
the
from somewhere.
source.
Mm.
Reddit.
If so, that's such a
Reddit
roundabout way.
r/Barcelona, Uncharted filming locations.
Cozy, while Chad looks that up, I know that maybe not in the part of Canada you live in, but I know that a lot of parts of Canada are have a lot of film done because there's tax breaks and shit.
Yeah.
Is
a lot
it
of
near
those
your
are
part or
done
the other
in-
parts?
It's primarily done in Toronto and Vancouver.
So around the
Especially
West
Vancouver in particular, yeah.
Coast. Okay, because I
Okay.
know that. Oh, go ahead, Chad.
I found the source that the AI overview is referencing is a post in r/Barcelona called Uncharted Filming Locations, and Reddit user Papa Kevin 812 said 4 years ago that it was filmed in Germany, and they shipped the information.
So just a guy on Reddit said
And
it.
just a guy on Reddit responded in a thread where people asked whether the film set was real, and AI overview said, "That
I
guy
guess
is
so.
That guy's the source."
That's the one thing that matches
Wow.
your fucking weird fucking search. So that's what we're gonna go with.
So something that brings together Canadian filming locations, Papa John's, all of it together in one neat bow is recently I've been listening to a new podcast. It's not a new podcast, but it's a podcast that I've been newly listening to called Doughboys. You might have heard them referenced in like How Did This Get Made a couple of times. It's two guys reviewing like fast food chains. They have like celebrity guests on here and there. Both of the like main hosts of that show were in season 2 of Twisted Metal, and they talked about going to Toronto to film season 2 of Twisted Metal. So yeah, Toronto's a big place for filming, but Vancouver is like the chief place for filming in Canada.
I gotta get a month subscription to the Cock so I can watch season 2 of that show.
A month subscription to the Cock. Yeah, the only reason I brought that up because I know Samson L, who maybe we'll be hanging out with on the podcast in the near future, was talking because he lives in Vancouver.
He did, and it was unfortunately one of those situations where I went to Vancouver at the exact same time that he left to go to Japan for a little vacation, so we didn't get to meet up with each other. But at some point in the future, we probably will.
Oh, okay. But
Damn,
he was
I want,
talking
like,
about
one of those like maps, like in like Indiana Jones movies and shit, like
Da,
where they
da,
show
da,
the world
da,
map, and then they
da,
show
da,
one
da,
arrow going this way, and then the other arrow
da,
comes and chases it. I want that.
I missed him. I just missed him. Go ahead.
Well, I
Adam.
only bring that up because he talked about that they were gonna. I think he said they were filming The Penguin on like a street over from where he was at, or some shit like that. So I'm like, ooh, that would be fun. While all that, I'm bringing that up because they filmed like one thing near me ever, and it was a Johnny Depp movie, and I'm trying to find out what it is because I used to live in Versailles, Kentucky, and there's a big part of that one of the movies he's in where the main street of that movie is the main street of the town that I grew up in. So I'm trying to find the name of the movie. It's a very bad movie that nobody. Early 2000s maybe. I'm trying to look up the movie. I'm looking up for it now.
I made it sound like no movies are filmed in Montreal, are filmed in the province of Quebec. There actually are like a surprising number of movies that get filmed here in Montreal because Montreal has sort of like its old quarter where everything is all kind of like cobblestoney and old Eastern, Western European, Europe. What was it? What? Sorry, I short circuited there. I was about to say European-y, but for whatever reason, my vocal cords couldn't make it come together.
Was it all those hair plugs?
Anyways,
You get vocal cord paralyzation?
Well, that's why I was asking, have you guys ever been near a movie or a TV or some crazy thing where like, oh, they blocked off all these roads and something was happening? That's why I was asking.
A not insignificant number of movies do get filmed in Montreal because you have like the old cobblestoney section of the city where occasionally you will have like there's like a lot of like weirdly like Christmas movies that get filmed in Montreal because it's like, oh, we need to show like an old timey Christmas scene of people in the winter going to an old fashioned Christmas market. Like weirdly, a lot of those movies get filmed in Montreal. X-Men, I want to say Days of Future Past actually got filmed a lot in Montreal as well. There are actually like multiple scenes in that movie where it's like, oh yeah, I recognize that building from downtown.
I lived in Chicago for a while, and of course, a lot of things get filmed in Chicago. I never like witnessed any of it being filmed, like personally. It was like walking by, but I did. One of the things that like stood out to me most was I think it was Batman v Superman, where they redid a lot of the train stops to be Gotham City train stops. So yeah, you're just like riding the L, and you might stop on the Brown line and be like, oh, this is Armitage, and then you look out and it's not actually Armitage, and it like has whatever the Gotham City stop is on it, and it's like all gross and shit. Yeah,
I remember like 12 years ago, me and the family went on a big road trip across the Midwest to visit the architectural works of Frank Lloyd Wright. And I remember we once stopped at like some diner or cafe where the person that worked there was really proud of the fact that they had filmed one of the Michael Bay Transformers movies in the area. I don't even remember what movie it would have been. I'm assuming it probably would have been like Transformers 2 or 3 at that point. But I remember that being kind of funny. And I don't even dislike those movies, but yeah.
There's a new movie that came out this summer called Roofman with Channing Tatum. About a true story about the guy who lived in a Toys R Us / Circuit City. And that is the Toys R Us / Circuit City that I used to frequent as a young baby child in Charlotte, North Carolina. And while they did not film in the empty boxes that are those two buildings currently, they did film it at an empty box. They recreated a Toys R Us in a empty box store near the Carolina Place Mall in Charlotte. So yes, I have visited that location many times, but I did not actually see them filming it there at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out the name of this. I think it was a Johnny Depp movie. I'm crazy, but one that did stand out. So there was a sequel to The Strangers, which is the horror movie with the people just like watching the people in the house and they go kill them or whatever. Yeah. And it was Strangers Pray at Night, I believe is the one. Yeah, because I'm looking at the Wikipedia. There he is. Film shot in Kentucky. And the reason I know this is because when I went to see the movie, there was the youngest girl in that movie went to high school in Lexington, Kentucky. And she was like one of the stars in the movie. So she was just at the local Lexington movie theater being like, hey, I'm in the movie. You want a picture or whatever? Super nice girl. But it's crazy because I'm like, you're like a 17-year-old girl, like starring in a horror movie. And you're just hanging out in the fucking movie theater in your hometown. That shit is wild. So that was pretty cool to meet her. And she's just like, yeah, I'm just hanging out because they want me to. Fuck, I don't remember. But I was like, hey, that's cool that you're in this movie. Neat.
Do you guys
the Johnny Depp one.
remember the 2009 movie The Trotsky?
Nope.
It's about a kid from a Montreal college who believes that he is a reincarnation of Leon Trotsky of like the Russian Revolution. And he basically is like, I'm going to lead like a revolution alongside my fellow students, and we're going to oppose this evil principle and yada, yada, yada. That was filmed at the college that I went to in Montreal. But
Is
nobody here
Leon
knows,
Trotsky
so I guess it doesn't
inspired by
matter.
Leon the Pokemon League trainer
No.
guy from Sword and Shield? Let's find out.
I don't think so.
No, there's no evidence or official confirmation.
Do
Well,
you
hold on.
guys-
This says there's no evidence or official confirmation that the Pokemon character Leon from Sword and Shield is inspired by historical figure Leon Trotsky. I asked, was Leon Trotsky inspired by Leon from Sword and Shield? So jury's still out on that one.
By the way, I figured out what it was. Not a Johnny Depp movie. There is a 2005 movie called Elizabethtown, which is a movie starring Orlando Bloom, Kirsten Dunst, Alec Baldwin, produced by Tom Cruise. Was supposed to be placed in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. None of the movie was filmed in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Most of the movie was shot in Versailles, Kentucky. So the town that I grew up in, they shot an Orlando Bloom movie in basically the entire like main street area of it. So it was Orlando Bloom. That was a big deal. And I'm like, is this the movie where he has
this Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp? Boom.
Absolutely. Yeah. And this is the movie. Yeah, this is right. Where he's a shoe designer for like a Nike sort of an idea. And he makes a really, really bad shoe that loses the company like $1 billion. Then he goes back to Elizabethtown, Kentucky because he failed at making shoes. But it's Orlando Bloom, not Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is from Kentucky, but he is not in this stupid movie. But I did see them close down the road for this. So I was close to Orlando Bloom.
On the subject of movies filmed in Montreal, neither of you would know of this movie. And I don't think, here's the thing, this movie would not be good for like a future commentary track, but definitely a movie that I want to show you guys next time we meet up IRL. Have you ever heard of the 2006 movie Bon Cop, Bad Cop?
I'm sorry, what was the very first word? Bone? Bold? Bowl?
Bon, as in B-O-N.
Bon?
We don't know what that is.
It is a buddy cop movie. It's a wordplay on the phrase good cop, bad cop. Basically, I'm going to read from you just the first sentence or so from Wikipedia. When a body is found hanging on top of the sign demarking the Ontario-Quebec border, police officers from both Canadian provinces must join forces to solve the murder. David Bouchard is a rule-bending francophone detective for the Sûreté du Québec, while Martin Ward is a by-the-book Anglophone Ontario provincial police detective. The bilingual detectives must resolve their professional and cultural differences, as well as their bigotry and prejudices.
I love...
They live like 10 miles away from each other.
I love that the Netflix description, because this is on Netflix, apparently, according to this post right now.
Ooh.
The Netflix description is simply this. An English-speaking officer from Toronto and a French-speaking cop from Montreal are forced to work together to solve a crime. As if, like, it goes without saying that English-speaking people and French-speaking people fucking hate each other and can never work together. Like, they just assume.
Now, in Quebec, that's a thing.
It's
Cozy
a
can tell you. They're racist.
Touchy.
They hate each other.
Yeah, it's a little tough. It's a little tough.
Which seems absolutely ridiculous. But
we should watch that at some point.
I mean, there's not a single person in this movie I recognize. All of that's spoken, Cozy. Are we doing a movie commentary? And do you have any ideas if that was to happen?
Hold on. Before you answer that, I just want to let you know, spoilers for the end of Bon Cop, Bad Cop. Bon Cop, Bad Cop 2's description starts by saying, two veteran buddy cops are back for a second chapter. So it sounds like they're buddy-buddy now.
I never watched Bon Cop, Bad Cop 2, unfortunately. I don't have any thoughts on that one.
Well, you need to get on it. They're buddies now.
The thing about the like movie commentary thing is I definitely want to do another one, but I think with these movie
our highest
commentaries,
performing video right now.
That's true, because people probably assumed it was just a rip of the movie.
Yeah.
I think it's important that whatever movie we cover is like more than just being a bad movie, is also just like immensely entertaining in its own right. The Monster Hunter movie is like far from like the worst video game movie in like the pantheon of bad video game movies, but it was like the right kind of entertaining movie that I think we were able to sit through it and get out on the other end just fine. And I feel like whatever we do next has to fit the same kind of mold. I don't want to just watch something that has like a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes because, oh, haha, it's going to be really bad.
No, but have you had any thought about it? Like there's
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what it could be. That's just that's like the thought process that I have going through my head. Like I don't think I know that like Uwe Boll is like such a meme of like he's like the king of shit. He's the king of terrible video game adaptations, but like I've seen a couple of his movies and like that would make just like a dismal watch IMO. I don't think we should.
No, I think he's just an awful director. I don't know why people keep giving him money to make bad movies because
he hasn't made one in a while. I don't think he's made one in a while. No.
Well, I mean, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is sitting right there, Cozy.
Oh God, Prince of Persia.
That's a good
Jake
one.
Gyllenhaal. Jay Gilly.
Jake Gyllenhaal is the Prince.
I
of
actually
Persia.
never saw that movie, but
I'd be perfect, man.
That could be a good.
I'm on Wikipedia right now, scrolling
You also got
through.
Assassin's Creed. That was a movie that
the
I saw
movies.
about 3/4 of, and I said, "Why am I doing this to myself?"
Listen, I kind of like that movie. It is slow. It is a slow ass sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts that I like, but that would not be a fun watch along. That is not enjoyable to watch. I wouldn't think. Cozy. I think Prince of Persia might be a winner. Just give it some thought.
On Uwe Boll's
Maybe.
Wikipedia, bringing this full circle, says his
Or maybe
2005
Borderlands.
Alone in the Dark adaptation is considered one of the worst films ever made.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. I
Oh, and
also
he
saw-
retired in 2016 to become a restaurateur.
Thank
Hell
God.
yeah.
But he returned
I
to
remember
filmmaking
he's
in
probably-
2022.
Hold on a second. You just reminded me, Chad, of something that I'm going to go to Wikipedia. Not sure if you've heard of it before, just to confirm this. Fuck. Uwe Boll did a movie. It was right. So Uwe Boll did a Far Cry movie in 2008. Like this is before the Far Cry franchise blew up at Far Cry 3. This is probably before it was even owned by Ubisoft, actually. Or maybe it was owned by Ubisoft from the beginning. He did a 2008 Far Cry movie. You guys want to hazard a guess of what famous person appeared in the movie as a cameo as a scientist? I'll give you a hint. He is someone who is famous within the realm of restauranting and food criticism.
Who's
Oh,
the
yeah.
Hell's Kitchen guy with the screens?
It is not Gordon Ramsay.
No,
That
it's
one, yeah.
the John Wick 3 guy.
I don't believe it would be him either. I'm going to give
Who's
you another
the-
clue.
Who's the guy with the spiky yellow hair and the glasses on the back of his head?
Fucking Flavor Town?
Yeah, Guy
Yeah,
Fieri.
not Guy
Fieri.
Fieri. I'll just reveal it. Anthony Bourdain appears as a guest cameo in the 2008 Far Cry movie.
You know what's really funny?
What's really funny, Chad? I hope that it's what I just said because you guys had no reaction to that.
In my brain, I will be honest with you, neither of these two gentlemen I'm about to mention have an actual visual representation in my brain. I have seen so little of their faces that I don't know what they actually look like and I cannot picture them. However, they share the same JPEG in my brain, and that is Anthony
Okay.
Bourdain and Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh no.
That's not good.
You showed me the same middle-aged white guy with gray hair, and I couldn't tell you whether it was Jeffrey Epstein or Anthony Bourdain, or whether those two guys are even white and have gray hair. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say Ron Perlman.
Oh no, I know who
Ron
Ron Perlman
Perlman
is. That guy
and
has the
Anthony
jaw of a
Bourdain kinda
fucking
look similar.
alligator.
You talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the real estate investor?
I don't know what he did other than diddle kids.
There's a whole bit on
yeah.
Conan where a guy who knew Jeffrey Epstein growing up, and Conan was like, "Have you heard the news about Epstein?" And the dude had no idea. He only knew him as like this business guy. And they were giving him. They're like, you got to be kidding me, right?" They're like, "No, yeah, he's a great guy. He like invests and like I've worked with him with his businesses." Well, what's going on with that? This guy has no idea that what the shit that Epstein does.
Jeffrey-
and Conan just is fucking eating it up. It's great.
Jeffrey Epstein, the recipient of a birthday card from Donald Trump,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I'm gonna look him
But
up.
yeah.
We're live. I'm gonna look him up right now. Jeffrey Epstein.
So Cozy, I'm giving you two options.
Uh-oh.
Either we do the Disney Prince of Persia movie, or there's a movie produced by Paul W.S. Anderson, we did the last movie we did was Paul W.S. Anderson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dead or Alive. There is a Dead or Alive
Oh,
movie. Have
that
no idea what
was-
it's about, but maybe.
That might have titties in it. Oh, we're not going to show the
That's
movie
what I'm
anyway,
hoping
so,
for. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, you know?
Yo, I
that
was
one
not far off.
directed... Go ahead.
Look at the Google images of Jeffrey Epstein and then Anthony Bourdain. Like, go to the images tab.
Same man?
And some of them, you could swap them out. And you, like, no one would notice. If you, like, put one of the other one on the other guy's page, you would have never known.
No, Cozy.
Yes.
I've never seen DOA. I've seen Prince of Persia one time. I've never seen DOA. Here's what I just want to tell you: 2 cast members. One is a character, one is an actor.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people in this movie, Kevin Nash. Everyone loves Kevin Nash. He's a wrestler. He's Super Shredder. He's in John Wick 1. Kevin Nash is a great guy. He's in that movie. Also,
I've never seen Kevin Nash in my life, but he looks very similar to Anthony Bourdain and Jeffrey Epstein.
here we go. Also, Ryu Hayabusa is apparently in the DOA movie.
Ooh.
Wait,
Just saying.
is
so-
that what? That's the
Ninja Gaiden guy.
Gaiden one. What's the name of the Street Fighter one?
Ken.
Not the other. No, the other one, not the blonde-haired guy.
No, it's just Ryu. I don't know. I don't think he has last name.
So the
Street
Dead or Alive movie is
Fighter
interesting because I think for whatever reason, a lot of people incorrectly assume that one was directed by Affable as well. It was actually directed by Corey Yoon, unfortunately he passed away a couple of years ago. He was a Hong Kong film director who did The Transporter and I want to say No Retreat, No Surrender from way back in the day. And so like my suspicion, I've never seen Dead or Alive. My suspicion is I suspect that movie will probably be not good, but like better directed than I think we would anticipate a poor video game movie being. Maybe.
So I gave you 2 good options, so, you know.
Y'all, there
Just
is
saying.
a conspiracy going on.
Uh-oh.
Everyone
It's only in
Street
Chad's head. He
Fighter
thinks all these white men are...
No,
Jeffrey
everyone
Epstein.
in Street Fighter has a last name except for Ryu. Even Ken is Ken Masters.
Oh, really?
Really?
Ryu doesn't have a
What
last
is his
name?
last name?
What is Wikipedia teaching us? A lot of
Oh
things
my God.
today.
Oh, no, that was on...
You're not looking at... Is it
fandom.
the
That's
AI
on
overview
fandom.
again?
Hold on. Ryu does not have an official... This is the AI overview. We'll look up its source in a second. Ryu does not have an official last name in the main Street Fighter game series. However, some non-official sources have given him surnames, most notably Hoshi from the American movie and anime adaptations, but this is not considered canon by Capcom. Another name, Takegami, was used once in an older Japanese quiz game, but is also not officially recognized.
According to a guy on the Street Fighter Reddit who seems like he knows what he's talking about, Ryu has no surname because he's an orphan and his parents are unknown. So he basically just got adopted, was given the name Ryu, and they were like, well, we don't know what your last name is, so you're not going to have a last name.
How does he apply for a home loan? How does he have a bank account? You have to
He
have a
beats
last
their
name.
ass. He beats up the banker and gets the
Oh
money.
my God.
Maybe just, he lives on the streets, right? It's called Street Fighter, so he doesn't actually have a home.
He doesn't need a home loan.
He doesn't live on
yeah,
the streets. He
are
has
his
to
home.
fight the streets.
He
To
fights on
remain
the streets because
in
the streets are his
Yeah.
home.
the
You
orphanage.
walk into his house, aka the streets, he has to beat your ass. Just saying. So Cozy, you have some options because I'm assuming, again, I'm not the schedule maker here. Our next RAFter Dark would instead be a movie commentary. So you've got some options.
I think that Prince of Persia and I think that Dead or Alive are they're both 2 pretty good candidates, and I think we got to think it over.
Both got them from Wikipedia. Just saying.
Hell yeah. Wikipedia to the rescue.
Not sponsored.
Just saying. I wish. Chad, you said
Dead
you
or
had a
Alive
thing
movie
in case...
runtime is
Oh,
an
yeah,
hour and
look that up.
27 minutes.
All
Prince
day.
of Persia movie runtime, hour and 56 minutes. So there's a half-hour difference between the two.
Interesting. But anyway,
Yeah,
interesting.
the
what's your thing?
kind of taking a big old left turn into something completely different. I have an interesting little discussion topic that I'm curious if you all have anything that fits it. I have a question for you, which is, what is something that you realized that you do differently than someone else? And what's the moment that you ended up like, what is that moment where you did realize that, oh shit, I do this differently than anyone else does? I'll give you an example. We won't mention any names, but my dad. We're not going to say his name, but my dad. I remember one day we were having a conversation, and somehow it came up that he wipes his butt standing up. And he
For
was
every
like,
wipe?
what?
For every wipe?
For every wipe. And he was like mind blown when he found out none of the rest of the family did. And he was like, don't you all stand up to wipe your butt? I thought everyone stood up to wipe their butt. So I guess this isn't me, but this is me, outing my dad. And that was the moment where he realized, oh, here's one for me. Here's another one. Here's one for me. Having a conversation. I do this differently than this person, but I think that I am more in the majority. But I haven't had this conversation with a lot of people, so I don't know. But when looking up erotic videos, perhaps we'll say that when looking up erotic videos,
Yeah, with the St. Andrew's
study
Cross.
to study with the
Exotic
St. Andrew's Cross,
videos.
I tend to stockpile several in different tabs in order to keep the momentum going. You get bored with one video, or you want to go to the next one, have something locked and loaded, ready to go that you're going to be interested in. I'm talking to an unnamed person in my life who thought that was psychopathic behavior. And he's like, what are you fucking talking about?
No.
You just like load up a bunch of tabs and you're like meticulously, oh, I can't wait to watch this one for this reason and that one for that. And it's like, well, what do you do? And he's like, I just go look up a compilation video and just rub one out. I was like, oh,
A compilation?
Wild.
See, even that's a little
Wild.
psychotic. That it has to be a collection of them. It can't just be a single one. He's like,
I
you're
was gonna
crazy for
say-
tabs. I have all of my tabs in one video.
yeah, right. It's just all the tabs in one
What?
video. Yeah.
The 3-act structure is very important when consuming erotic videos. You got to appreciate the dramatic rise, the fall from grace, the recuperation,
The
whatever
whole
they're
hero's
called.
journey.
Yeah,
The climax, obviously.
yeah. The call to action, the refusal, the come on the face, all the parts of the hero's journey.
The
Never
old
say that
storytelling
ever
trope.
again
the
in
come
your
on the face.
life. Oh my god. No, I think
Actually,
your
pause
friends.
real quick, Cozy.
Yeah?
Oh no.
So, a fun little thing
Uh-oh.
I've been doing in the Pokemon games that I've been playing the last year or two is that I'll name my main character after some adult film star, just for fun.
Oh no.
And I started playing Pokemon Crystal. I know this is not supposed to be video game related, but I started playing Pokemon Crystal after I beat ZA, and it came time to name my rival. And there weren't enough spaces to name it Come Piggy, but I did name them just Piggy in your honor.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna get you, come piggy.
Okay,
No,
sorry. Back to
I-
whatever you were saying.
No, your way I think is more normal. I don't say I necessarily do it exactly like that, but I think having either if it's scrolling or switching up, I think it's normal to have a variety compared to I'm gonna watch one compilation video and then I'm done for the night. That's more weird, I think, than browsing, I would assume.
Have either of you ever bookmarked anything that you've discovered on your erotic travels?
Oh yeah, that's why you make a profile and everything. Come
A
on now.
few years ago,
Okay.
I realized the beauty of making a profile. And of course, you use a burner email and all that kind of shit and private browser and all that, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, the recommendations that you get are priceless. You cannot put a price on that. So, yeah.
That is one of those things. I genuinely was like, this could 100% go either way. I don't know what direction people are going to go on this one. The problem is that over time, I find myself going less and less to any erotic adventures I allegedly may or may not have bookmarked, just because you're like, I want to discover new experiences. You know what I mean? I want to discover whole new worlds.
Coatsy's like, what's in the new and trending?
No, none of that on the websites I visit.
But
By the way, the
that's not
prompt does
true.
not have to be about sexual things. It can be about other things in your life that you
yeah, I was just
realize
trying to
that
figure out,
you
is
do
there, I
differently.
know there are definitely things that I do that are different from everybody else. I just have to think of one. So but I know for a fucking fact. That's weird. The standing up. So I was listening to a podcast years ago and there was somebody on the podcast was like, oh, you guys don't like stand up and do a squat when you wipe? And everyone was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I think it's every 1 in 20 people do the stand up thing because everyone was making fun of this girl and she was like, I don't know, I've always done this. And it's you stand up and squat and do a little hover. Yep. And they were just like, you're fucking insane. But what do I have? I've got to have a good one though, Chad. I know I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm crazy. What about you, Cozy? What's the weird thing you do?
It doesn't have to be weird. You could be the
There's-
normal one, but it's just different than what other people do.
I mean, there's no way to say this without sounding like I'm bragging or like I'm conceited, but I'm like the super neat and orderly person in my household. Like my mom.
Oh, I'm super not. Oh shit, I'm fucking messy.
You walk into her office and it's just like a hurricane ripped through it, and I'm like, I got to make sure that like everything is like as orderly as possible to a degree. And I want to say this to a degree that is definitely unhealthy. I've definitely been like trapped in that loop where you're like, I need to make sure that this is exactly positioned right. It's not positioned right. And I spend 20 minutes fixing something that literally nobody else is going to see, that will be completely inconsequential. But just because there's that broken part of my brain that's like, no, the book needs to be placed exactly parallel to this other
Yeah, but
thing.
there's a name for this thing that you're talking about, by the way.
Uh-oh.
You could talk to a psychiatrist or a physician. They can get you medicine to help if it becomes crippling. But there is a name.
It's not that bad, though.
Well, now if you can live with it, whatever, right?
And all of a
I figured
sudden
out what
I'm
it
like,
was.
oh, I don't want to visit a doctor. It's not that bad. No, don't worry about it.
It's just OCD, compulsive, whatever. So I know what it is, Chad. I figured out what it is. I know this is a thing that I'm not going to say only I do. Most people don't do. So even, especially when you live on your own, you can make your own rules. Doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. I definitely did it as a kid, though. And then I continue to do it after I have children and whatever else, right? Whenever I'm eating ice cream, I will sometimes eat out of the carton, and then I will leave my spoon in the carton. So if anyone ever goes to open the ice cream, that's basically me saying this is my ice cream. Yeah. But even though there are other people in the household, I will eat ice cream out of a carton. I will leave the spoon in there. Doesn't matter how long it's in there. It'll be in there for a week, and I'll come back and use the same spoon and eat the ice cream again.
To clarify, is your mouth touching the spoon, or are you just using it to scoop the ice?
Yeah. You scoop it and then you hold it above your mouth and shake it out.
Yeah, no. And now again, if I buy ice cream for everybody, then yes, of course. But like if it's like a small, like the smaller ones are, or even if it's like halfway through and I'm like, well, Dad's about to fucking eat this shit, I will fucking leave my goddamn spoon in there. Especially when I lived on my own, every fucking carton of ice cream had a fucking spoon.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like if you went to Adam's house to get ice cream, don't bother.
if you're living on your own, you just take the whole milk carton and just
but here's the thing, though. Most people don't do that, I'm assuming. I'm assuming most people don't leave spoons in frozen ice cream containers. Am I correct?
My thing is...
Go for it, Cozy.
Like, I totally understand the logic that you're like, well, I constantly go back to this thing of ice cream. It's too cold to get with your bare hands, so I'm going to use a spoon. But my question for you is, do you ever run into the issue where you grab the spoon and it's like freezing cold and you're like, it's kind of not burning my hand, but it's like way too cold on my skin?
Yeah, I mean, it gets cold, but it's not enough to be a problem. Funny thing, my son is in the background and he says, Dad, I do the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute. And he's like, yeah, at his mom's house, he will put his spoon and leave it in the container, even though it's not just for him. And he's like, my mom doesn't say anything about it at all. So apparently it runs in the family.
I have not eaten ice cream that didn't come in a pint in such a long time that because when I eat ice cream, it's basically just Halo Top ice cream, just because that's what I got used to eating when I was like.
They only make those in the small ones
all the time, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I eat out of a pint, which you can't leave a spoon in unless you leave it in the freezer uncovered, and that's unhinged.
Chad, you would think. Again, it doesn't matter if I do not finish it. I will leave the spoon. Yeah, if it's a pint.
You leave the pint in the freezer with the lid off of it?
Not the lid off, but like the spoon will be in. I'll push it in so that the lid is not completely on, but it is 98% on. But it might be popped a little bit because the spoon's too long. But yeah, I'll leave it in there. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
And you take it back out and there's like all the frost crystals and shit like that all over the
Not a lot. There's a little bit. There's not a lot. No, when there's a lot, I know what you're talking about. There's a lot of ice crystals. Yeah, I mean, I'll just scoop that off and not eat it. But again, if I'm at that point where my spoon is in the ice cream, I'm gonna finish this in the next 4 days. So it's not really a problem with ice crystals. But I will. The lid does not have to be completely closed. As long as it's mostly covered, we're good to go. Yeah. Which again, I'm assuming beside me and my son are the only people who do that apparently.
In my effort to improve my culinary skills, I've definitely over time like noticed that there's kind of a wide berth between the ways that I like to cook common foods and the way that my dad likes to cook common foods. We had a couple of guests staying over at our house back in the summer, and one morning my dad is like, "Oh, I'm going to make them scrambled eggs," and I had just like finished like trying to master this scrambled egg recipe, and I was like, "I don't know, Dad. Maybe let me make these scrambled eggs for them." And he's like, "Are you sure? I've been cooking these scrambled eggs on the stove for like 30 minutes." And I'm like, "Dad, I don't think that you need to cook scrambled eggs on the stove for that long."
Wait a minute. He said he cooks eggs for 30 minutes?
It wasn't 30 minutes, but like, I swear, if I had been timing it, it wouldn't have been far off. Like, he was like straight up just
super low
like,
heat, letting the
That's like a
room
10-minute
temperature
endeavor,
solidify the eggs.
including cracking the eggs open. Like, that is not a long culinary activity.
It's one of those things where like, I don't want to be super tough on people for, cooking for you. Cause like, it's nourishing, it shows there is nothing that we undervalue more than, parents that cook for you. But that was one of those moments where I'm like, Dad, you're not really doing it correctly. Let me take care of this. I'll make them some good scrambled eggs. And it was good scrambled eggs. I made a crème fraîche from scratch by mixing together a little bit of buttermilk and cream. It was really good. I mixed it into the scrambled eggs. It was very delicious.
I also used to eat peanut butter out of the jar with a spoon. Scoop the peanut butter into the spoon, put it in my mouth, put it back in the jar.
What I'll do is like, I'll get like a spoon of peanut butter to put on like a piece of toast or like to like use in some recipe. And then like whatever residue is left, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to eat this. I won't put it in wholly just to have the peanut butter, but I'll go in.
No, I would scoop, just like the ice cream. I would scoop multiple times and eat with my spoon and the peanut butter. Again, peanut butter jar not big enough to leave the spoon in. Otherwise, I probably would have as a child. But I definitely ate out of the peanut butter with a spoon as if it was just a tub of ice cream I'm eating out of.
Oh my God. Can I tell you something I used to do when I lived in Chicago and I was like not making any money at all. And I was also a little bit heavier. I would eat, first of all, peanut butter with a spoon. Yes. But also I learned one day that Reese's peanut butter is basically if you just take regular peanut butter and put powdered sugar in it and mix it all up.
Is that what that is?
A little bit more powdered sugar and mix it all up. And then it becomes the taste and consistency of Reese's peanut butter. And so I had
no idea that's what it was.
I would take a tortilla. I would take several big old globs of peanut butter, a bunch of powdered sugar, mix it all up, and then put a layer of Nutella on the tortilla, slap that Reese's peanut butter in the middle, smush it together, put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. Oh, that thing was delicious.
In the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, Cozy, real quick. That reminds me of microwave stuff. I remember, because we're all kind of funny fans, there's this story about Nick Scarpino microwaving some kind of cheese.
Yep.
What was it specific? Was it Parmesan?
It was a Parmesan, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to do that too. I would put chips and I would make my own quote unquote nachos. I'd put shredded cheese, I would put whatever cheese I could find and microwave the cheese on top of the nachos in the microwave. So yeah, I would do Parmesan. I would do, it doesn't matter. Fucking Asiago. I'm putting cheese in the microwave, making quote unquote nachos. And it's like, no, you're supposed to use like non-hardened nacho cheese, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna melt real cheese, doesn't matter what kind, onto nachos.
I think that's a little bit more normal than what Nick ended up doing, where he would just put cheese in the microwave until it got hard and burnt, and then he would eat it like it was chips.
Yeah, no, I would. That's unhinged. I didn't go that far, but I did like the one step below where I was like, oh, I'm putting it on something, but I'm also just eating dried cheese out of the fucking microwave.
Yeah. That was
Sounds great.
When you're doing keto and you're like, it's one of the few foods that you can basically eat as much as you want of because it has zero carbs and it's all fat and it's just Parmesan cheese. That and like cream cheese. Yeah. So you get to love Parmesan cheese when you do keto.
Oh, man.
But look, Cozy doesn't have
So
anything
good.
weird besides making eggs faster than his dad. Like, what are we doing here? I gave you a bunch of things. Chad gave you a really good one.
I honestly, you guys have been talking a lot, and I've not really had. I'm doing my best to pay attention, and I'm not.
Do you do anything weird in the
giving
shower?
enough thought to myself.
Do you sleep
the
weird? Do
shower.
you have a weird sleeping arrangement that maybe a lot of people don't do? I don't know. Anything like that?
I mean, in fact, so addressing the shower thing. I mean, no, not really.
I was just throwing stuff
feel
out.
like
I have
it's
no
pretty
actual
standard.
idea. Yeah.
I mean, my sleeping arrangement. I actually. So it's funny because you guys actually saw a bit of a preview of this when we were sharing the Airbnb together at PAX East last year. I actually quite often I have an armchair in my room that I actually often sleep inside of. I do have a bed as well, and sometimes I'll alternate between the two, sometimes in the same night. That is now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, yeah, that is actually pretty different compared to.
I think sleeping
most
in an
people's sleeping
armchair
arrangement.
overnight is not a normal thing. Like people do it because you're tired, you're watching TV, you fall asleep, or maybe my
Yeah.
back hurts tonight, I don't want to lay down. But
Yeah.
consistently sleeping in a chair, I would say, is not a common thing to do. Switching between a bed and a chair is also a little unhinged. I kind of like that one a lot.
Well,
Because I've slept in a chair. I slept on a couch for fucking 2 years because I wanted to. I had a bed. I was like, no, I'd rather sleep on the couch because it felt better for my back. So I get it.
I'm the kind of person that appreciates convenience in my life. I have like a small little TV with a Roku stick set up in my room, and sometimes I'll be like, I want to watch anime or some late night Marvel movie or whatever while I get ready for bed or am falling
Your
asleep.
erotic
And so-
videos.
no, the
You got
Roku
tabbed up?
doesn't have that, unfortunately. But
But
yeah, I'd say
interesting.
that's a pretty big one. Yeah,
That's a
I'm
big
sure. I'm going to make a pledge. I mean, when I'm next on RAFter Dark, we'll probably want to talk a little bit about my trip to Slovenia, which is coming
Boom
up soon.
shaboom. Czechoslovakia. Boom shaboom.
Boom shaboom.
Under the hand.
Outside of my Slovenia trip, I will try to come back with more stuff I do that I think is weird, or that at least the other people in my household don't do, because I'm sure I have some stories.
Dope. Well, that was
Very good.
an interesting little hour-long journey through Wikipedia and Jeffrey Epstein and all the other white men and the weird things that we do that are different from others. Thanks everyone for listening to RAFter Dark this month. We'll find out in a month whether we're going to have another episode of this or whether we're watching Prince of Persia or Dead or Alive, or if we just get tabs of YouTube videos opened and we just watch them in succession and we tell you all the same tabs to open up at the same time we do to watch along. All right. For real though, if you are listening to this in the month of November, thank you so much for being a patron. If you're listening to this in the month of December, you might as well not even listen at all. That's what you do to me. That's the way you make me feel. Cool. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.